So once and for all, I want to settle the score. And I want to talk about something that no one has ever addressed before. My stepsister, Michelle Bemis, wants me to burn in hell for financial problems. The financial problems stem from an unexplained existence of plates and bottom lips without screaming bloody murder. People that could hike a mountain when you could barely walk down the street. Your own mother that reproduced you and you're looking at her like, I couldn't do what you've done to me. Total strangers telling you what to do with your body. Poverty. Animal kingdom attacks. Fire. Knowing that some people don't feel it because they can't. There's no way a person could put the earth together if they could feel fire. And with all these unexplained footsteps, mental and physical, you get caught up in a whirlwind of footsteps of your own, whether planted by those that oppose you or the universe that is unknown. And while being a child, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, you do some things that you don't even comprehend, but you're not a bad person, and it doesn't hurt anyone's life or existence. It doesn't touch flesh. It doesn't take anything from a person. It just kind of does what Webster Dictionary did to your eye. When your mom taught you your alphabets, it just puts you in another place than you were before. It takes you from comfort, being by yourself, and puts you in the hands of someone else. You know, Webster Dictionary activation is a total colossus disaster. It's a removal of oblivious comfort to obligations of total strangers. And regardless of how you feel or what you feel, which makes it worser, you have to go through a process of either feeling that pain or committing suicide. Michelle Bemis, my teachers during my early childhood education, and some of my coworkers and employers accused me of theft. And then, of course, society accused me of debt. I say this because it's a big deal. You know, the only reason why people feel like they have a right to electrocute me in this present moment and throw my life away in homelessness is because of childhood memories, as well as my situation of adult debt. Now, one might say, well, how do people do this to you if they are punishing you? I'll tell you how. There was this girl that I knew back in the day named Louisa. And Louisa was having a sex life with her boyfriend. And because she was having a sex life, she knew she was going to hell. And so she thought, Nikki makes me know that I'm going to hell. So let me do something right now for later, so that no matter what happens before I pass away in this generation, I could think about her suffering. And if we all team up and bully against her, we'll have ourselves a cannibalistic sacrifice. And instead of thinking about what we've done and how we're going to hell, we'll be just looking at the damages we do to her and just think, she's really a bad person. Like, she's so jealous. Like, I can't believe she's changed. Like, oh my gosh, she looks so bad. Like, why is she thinking so badly? Like, she's never going to do anything with her life. Like, I mean, buy a car, get a job, be positive, go out and do something. I raised my kids. I have my husband, I have my family. I think you need to kind of do something with yourself. And so instead of thinking about the fact that people put people on earth and they're doing wrong, they rather just think about someone who's suffering, that they instigated and just stop. They meant pain, but they're just kind of like, oh my God. It's kind of like if a person punches you in the face, they meant to punch you. But the bruise is that they meant, and they're no longer doing it. So you bear the bruise, you bear the wound, but they're not punching you because you still have the wound. They punched you and the wound appeared. So people did stuff to me when I was a child. And since the only thing that they could really find fault in me about is money, it had to do a lot with money. Okay, so I want to settle the score, and I want to eliminate the possibility that this current electrocution of my life could be justified by monetary situation. First and foremost, the only consequence for monetary failure is 5 years behind bars, or paying a fine to a government, or paying a fine to a civilian, or some type of agency in which it will be reimbursed to the person that was robbed. You have to have physical, tangible evidence. You have to have camcorder or some witness that, witnessed the actual crime that can vouch for the whereabouts and so forth and so forth. There has to be some evidence. Either the money is on the person or has been in their possession. All these things are taken into consideration. If you don't have probably a recording, it would just be a jury, and so many things. I mean, some things I could confess that things happened to me as a child, and I was very confused. I was very young. I didn't know what was going on. But as I got older and as my life began to unfold with so many adversaries surrounding me, things slightly started to become clear. But I would say more so in this last year, I would say 2020, well, between 2020 and 2022 with COVID-19, I mean, the entire universe of wisdom has opened up to me, and I almost understand everything about my footsteps in this lifetime that I could never have explained even 5 years ago. Even 5 years ago, I was still slightly confused about what happened as a child and what was going on. But these past 2 years have given me so much clarity about why I went through what I went through and what it all means. But overall, what's going on is that people thought that they could electrocute me and throw me away in poverty and make me homeless over monetary, financial debt and theft. Like I said, the only penalty for theft is a 5-year prison term or less. And I served a 21-year childhood prison term with poverties and extreme, extreme abuse of not having had a family. And then in these recent 14 years, I've been unfortunately held hostage through having a nervous system and an acquaintance with a former legal partner. So when you add 21 plus 14, you get 35 years of my life was wasted, plus the 6 years that the relationship prior to the 14 years was an embezzlement of life. And overall, I've never lived. If somebody said you stole, I'm like, but when did I ever live? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I am one person that has never lived one day of my life. I've only been here doing universal conductive footsteps, which you all have to include in our understanding of existence, because for people to put a plate in their bottom lip and not be able to, scream bloody murder and die, and for people to hike mountains and surf and ski and deal with animals, some of us can't do that. So the same way I can't do that is the same way you couldn't necessarily do my footsteps, but they're just as vital as your supposedly Hercules attempts to show off daring outdoor activities. But this is all very hard to understand to the common hell-bent soul, but I'm still going to put it out there for my own listening. And I say this because touching another person's life is not limited to money. As a matter of fact, money is the least criminal activity on our planet, okay? The greatest criminal activity is maternity, Webster Dictionary activation, education, and unfortunately, employment. It is treating someone as though they are another person without asking their permission if they want to be in an environment with all the details of what it entails. Y'all even let a person look at a house before they purchase it. It's their prerogative to not look at it, but most oftentimes, y'all let people walk through things, test drive cars. Y'all did not let us know anything about nerves. Y'all didn't let us know anything about the longevity of the lifespan. You didn't let us know anything about people that are sinning just because they're weary and desolate. Y'all didn't let us know anything about shallow-minded people who were going to try to escape eternal punishment for having realized and thought that they were brilliant for knowing the crime that they were doing to miscellaneous persons or person. Y'all didn't let us know anything about the animal kingdom when we were growing up, as in the danger that our life would be involved in observably or felt. Y'all didn't let us know that, we may fall short mentally. We may be jealous of people. Y'all didn't let us know that we were going to be a foundation support of positivity by being the negative side, or we were going to be living off negativity as a positive polarity of an adjective. Y'all didn't let us know that anything, when our teeth were going to fall out, when our eyes were going to get yellow, when we were going to have the first wrinkle on our body. We shouldn't even have any. Y'all didn't even let us know that our hair was going to fall. I mean, we could see it, but y'all did not give us y'all did not say, okay, this is the bedroom, this is the kitchen, y'all didn't do that. Y'all never let us know about the body and the life and what happens. Y'all just threw us in kindergarten, started, teaching us Jack and Jill went up a hill. And before you know it, we're learning tidbits of this and that unnecessarily. And then we so happy to get a diploma because we memorized information and we had a high IQ. And then we go on to choose what we didn't even choose to do. And then you feel content. When a whole lot of people do that, you just start sitting back talking like, girl, my children graduated, girl. Yeah, she just bought a house. I got her that car, last year. And then before you know it, you have a lot of people like that. And we really never addressed the issue that you never told us anything. So my thing is this: Michelle Bemis and people that are stereotypical want to send me to hell for childhood memories that were out of my control. The same way you want me to burn in hell for child memories, I want everyone on this planet to burn in hell for being an environment in which I could be touched as an infant, activated to be an adult, and then thrown to the wind in a situation in which no one knew what was going to happen. Touching a person's life is the crime here. Let me ask you all a question. Did you all touch my life as a conglomerate society of the world first, through education, false parenting, and the destination of employment? Or did I touch your money first? Which is it? Did money get inside of me by myself? Did I just grow up without anyone telling me, teaching me, or forcing me to do anything that I just all of a sudden believed in money and stole it or owed debt? No, money was something that this world through my false parenting, through education, through television, through community, through civilians, through prices, through eyes. You all gave me a thought that I would have never had. That thought robbed me of the clarity of mind to see that my nerves were more important than a piece of paper. When you robbed me of that through popularity and everyone doing it, you did something to me that I can never get back, and that's a low morality about my feelings and my appearance. And I'm still enduring that one thought of money. Because if you actually were doing production, distribution, and respecting people's appearance and stuff, I wouldn't be robbed. See, my thought is I care about myself, not a piece of paper, not someone else. I don't care about someone else's choice to pick up the earth, then pick up my ear canal, then, oh, I don't feel good about what I did. Can you pay me some money? Because if you don't, I'll make you homeless too. I'm like, what? That's 3 things you did wrong. You picked up the earth that didn't belong to you. You picked up my ear canal that didn't belong to you. You want to make me homeless because I don't want to pay. Motherfucker, that's 3 things you're doing wrong. That's not right. Okay? Michelle Bemis and everyone on earth. I know it sounds like I'm pushing the envelope, but you pushed the envelope when you electrocuted me over money. I could understand you locking me behind bars supposedly because you think I stole, but electrocuting me for 14 years, holding me hostage, making me be poor, messing up my skin. There are people in prison who have beautiful skin and long hair. There are people in prison that have hard bodies, athletically built and worked out to a tip-top shape, much better than those that are free in this world. You messed up everything about my life. Your accusation is you're a bad person. You stole. I don't trust you. I'm like, I don't care. The consequence for that, there's a place for that. You take me to court. You get me a lawyer. You read me my rights if you think I'm a bad person, and you arrest me. You don't do all this personal stuff with my life in an attempt to mess up my soul because you're so jealous and envious and you knew that you did wrong. You have no hope for yourself. You don't just do any willy-nilly thing to me. But you know what I'm going to do? Since you did that, I'm charging everyone for touching me. Yes, in order for me to be talking today, someone had to teach me back then. And the words I have to say are violent and dangerous and hostile. And I wouldn't have given myself a monetary comprehension. That's just the truth. I wouldn't have given myself any comprehension that's painful or life-threatening, or I would never tell myself stand on my legs 8 hours a day, work a job for a total stranger and pay bills. Whoever believes in that stuff, you touched me when I was a child. This comprehension that I bear today means everyone who believes in money touched me a long time ago, and you are touching me every second. If I even think a thought that's not something I would do, whoever supports and carries that thought and believes in that thought, they are touching me at that time. That's why nobody carries the thought that everyone should have a car, because I'm not touching anybody. Y'all are okay with, y'all don't think everyone should have clear skin and long hair. I'm not touching nobody. Everybody's touching me. I believe that everyone should have the same possessions. Everyone should have the same everything. But money is touching that. Paying bills is touching that. You are touching me all the time. It's not just touching a person's car and stealing it that's arrest worthy. It's touching a person that uses the possessions that can be stolen. I'd rather someone steal my car than to touch me 24/7 and have me in jitters because something that works out for them doesn't work out for me. Everybody on this planet is going to be electrocuted for all of eternity. You punish me for theft and debt, I'm going to punish you for severing the umbilical cord and putting Webster Dictionary inside of my eye. You didn't ask my permission if I wanted to be here. I paid a price ever since. And part of that price was conductive footsteps that you punished me for and knew that I didn't do anything wrong. So when I punish you, it's going to be for all eternity long. I cannot stand stupid people